Hey you guys, it's August 22nd, nearing the end of the day, and I'm going to do a quick update. Not a lot has changed because it's a very, time of year where a lot of things are just resting, and we're definitely very, very dry. And Lacey here is going to be a helper along the way. Whenever it gets this dry, I have this like big reservation towards cutting and exposing more of the soil. I do want to put a shout out for still getting to pick and eat oranges. This is last year's crop, and they still got a lot of juice in them. But we're already close to getting satsumas. But anyway, just keeping it covered. We're ducking down, having to crawl through the tunnel of growth now. But also managing the chickens differently. So the chickens are staying in much later into the day. They're coming out around 4, and then they're going to bed around 7, so they're only on the garden for about 3 hours. I've noticed this persimmon seedling, which is from the fuyu, is probably a tree to be grafted or taken out, and we'll probably see some dry blueberries because I have not watered them since the last video. But we did get a rain. It's not that we haven't gotten any rain, and she's probably the star of the show. Let's go this way. It's a nice time of day. What really grows this time of year, are the really heat-loving stuff like bananas and papaya, okra. What did I say? I said, I forgot how long, but they're still not ripe, so well, here's one. So here's the first jujube for me. That's not true, but I like them brown, or maybe more like this kind. A little bit of brown is really good, but there's plenty here to share, plenty of goodness. And I'm actually seeing maybe a little color change on some of these persimmons. So we got to duck way under. And Lacey's coming too. So this is a response to that watering, and then a rain we got. So it's coming back, which is awesome. Let me put this fruit in my pocket. Oh, hi you. She's definitely a lab. She likes to fetch. So the avocados, I think, no, that's passion fruit, camouflage. Avocados just made my year. Here we go. So this is what it's all about. This has been so cool and so tasty and good that I want to rip out some trees and plant some more avocado trees. Definitely worth the investment to know that I'm getting more in the future, and that they're not super pest heavy. When they were hitting the ground, the rats or something eventually started finding them, but it's yeah, super thin skinned and as tasty as any avocado I've eaten, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And just find them on the ground. It's a little rubbery. It could be a little more ripe, like it could sit. There's a bunny jumping straight ahead, and you see I put out some papaya for him, but we're gonna go this way. Lacey's going that way. Here's some bunny damage. Bunnies are getting hungry. So here I did some cutting. I believe it was light for this rose and to maintain the path, because there goes another bunny. Lacey's in heaven. Lacey's definitely changing the relationship with the bunnies, and that was tough for me at first because I really liked that, but she's my dog. Okay, so I did get to try some falsa, and I am not impressed. So if you were thinking about growing falsa, here's the final berry size. Here it is, dark purple. And basically the only cool thing is there is a little bit of like in the soda candy that tingles, and Lacey's doing laps. There's a little bit of cool acidity in the sweetness, but for the most part, the birds are going to eat most of them, and the taste is nothing exceptional. I would rather grow mulberry, so this tree's getting phased out, and I might even take out. So right here off of the side, from that nectarine to here could all be one giant avocado tree. So that's cool. But yeah, false is weak. Here's more of that dryness, and I did bucket water. I think I said I might in the last video. I gave it a few buckets, but it's still starting to color up. So that's what I mean, though. What's so cool, like year-round citrus. Hi, that's a seed. You see the seed? Because I got the sweet orange with still fruit on it, and then all the mandarins are almost ready. So what's really, I don't know if it comes through, is just, you know, we're under canopy. Dad. Like, it's also getting dark, but you know, fig to pear to peach, it's getting up overhead. This is LSU purple. There are a couple ripe ones, but right now the birds are just super intense on them. So I don't think we'll get any on the fig tree. But it's a maturing system, and it's just changing. It's at like a adolescence, you know, where there are big changes now. It's like, yeah, there's not enough light to grow a lot of things, and you know, the spacing is now needing to change. And anyway, here's the moringa. I don't know that it grew that much since the last video. Some happy bees. I need to go faster. Maybe it did grow. I mean, that's the month of August is for those tropicals. Moringa is one of them. So I had some weird dieback. So I'm growing loofah up this tree, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much it produces. You can see it here. There's our first female flower and fruit. That's another plant that'll love this time of year and the heat. A little lean happening here on Ujikitsu, like not a little, a big old lean, and it's from the weight. So I've just always felt like citrus is a very self-care, self-aware, rather than do much pruning. And basically I've watched it manage itself really well. So even though this branch is massive, it was the central branch is all the way leaning, I'm just going to let it bend and know that it's going to not put growth that way, but send a new shoot up the middle and go, oh wow, I need to grow differently because fruit is heavy and I hadn't done that yet. But I'm pretty excited because there is a lot of you know, citrus on the tree, and a little dry, but it's all good. But you can see the dryness on everything. I did some trimming to let, you know, light and balance. Try to get the Ujikitsu some light here. This is another big change, just not enough light for roses. I mean, this is where we've got big canopy, you know, up above, and it's changing how it feels. And the chickens do it too, they clear out underneath. Alright, so the cactus was another thing that's fruiting this time of year, and I did not do a very good job of picking them or eating them, and we can remedy that right now and give them a taste. So I've eaten tuna from the grocery store, and I always like them a little more on the green side, like where they're more, I don't know, it's a different sweetness. When they're fully ripe, it's just more bland, I guess, or insipid, kind of mealy. And kind of so I have eaten cactus fruit in the wild. It under-delivers on the sweetness, for sure. But it's still fruit, and there's a little bit of sweetness to it, so that's something. And I'm probably going to leave the rest for the wildlife. There really wasn't that much else to see, except me tripping on a dog. But back here, I had to buy sod for a project, so I'm resodding my lawn, and that's a big challenge with how much water I got in the tanks and everything. So I have been draining the tanks and running the hose a little bit, and the hay is to protect the sod and give it a better chance to grow. So a few more last minute additions to the August update. I wanted to add that the passion fruit are all over the property and are in season, so I was able to find a maypop really quick. It's yummy and ripe when it's orange on the inside. You can kind of smell it too. So maybe you want to go look for some maypop over by the railroad tracks or wherever you know the vines are, because it's a good time of year. And then I've also got the eggplant, even though it's unirrigated here, still producing a little bit. But I wanted to show you that just sticking a couple seeds in the ground, even though without any irrigation, can yield some good fruit. So this is that yellow melon, which I definitely recommend. I always like to grow. Super sweet, kind of like cucumber but sweeter, I guess. A really good melon. Save the seeds, spread them around. And then the last fruit, in the last video, the muscadines over in the chicken run were getting ripe. And then this is a cultivar called Southern Home. It's a really good grape. So I don't know if you saw that drop, but what is really crazy this year is that nothing is eating these grapes. I've got, grapes on the ground and the birds aren't messing with it, so I think that's pretty cool. Just wanted to update you on a few more of the fruits because there's always something in the garden. Alright you guys, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.